Welcome to the Emily Otto Show, business and lifestyle mentorship for rebel healers, priestesses, witches, and wild women. This podcast will give you the tools and inspiration to help you build and scale your online and in-person healing business so you can help more people and make more money. My goal is for you to thoroughly enjoy your life and business with plenty of time for pleasure and play. I am over the moon delighted that you're here. Let's start today's episode. Welcome to another episode of the Emily Otto Show. Oh my gosh, I have gotten 2 exceptional listener questions this week, and I actually want to address both of them in today's podcast. So buckle up. This one might be a little long. Not likely. I love creating bite-sized things that you can actually utilize in the world. And I want to make the invitation to you, if you're listening to this on Spotify, Apple, Amazon, go out to my YouTube channel. You can find it under Emily Otto Rebelle and subscribe and come watch me live on video. And then come over to Facebook and join my free Facebook group, The Rebelle. I am about to do so much more with that group, with challenges and amplifying questions and helping you make some traction in your business. So come join me there. And then I want to tell you about the most epic, brand new, exceptional way to work with me in this season, right here, right now. So if you're listening to this in June of 2023, you are invited to amplify wealth. And this is the secret sisterhood of masterminds. I have no branding. I have no sales page. This was a divinely inspired creation because I know what I craved in my business was deep intimacy, support, sisterhood. And it wasn't until I got in the mastermind I'm in now that I realized I could actually have it. And so I created something so epic and expansive that you can't help but rise to meet the level of business you've been craving. This is for you if you want $1 million business yesterday. This is for you if you're like, oh my God, yes to the cheerleading. However, I actually want to move the needle, be really well coached, and change my behaviors and habits and patterns so that I can have what I want. This is all in on in-person experiences, online support, and the beautiful conjunction of the in-person and online business space that you're crafting in your own work in the world. This program happens mostly in Telegram. It is an amazing walkie-talkie app with videos, with text messaging, with voice memos, and only a handful of women are invited to the program. It is a year-long program. It starts on the solstice, June 21st, right here, right now. And it goes for a year. You can join for a year. You can join for a quarter and test it out and decide if you want to invest in yourself and your business for the full year. A Telegram channel open 24/7 to receive your questions, your comments, your voice memos, your celebrations. And then I'm going to utilize the fuck out of that Telegram channel for challenges, for motivational sessions on Mondays. Everything I can think of, I'm going to put all the juice in that program. And that's why the price point for Amplify Wealth is $2,000 a month. Because I want to give you all of me, and I want all of you and your business to echo back. It is Telegram. It is a coaching call a week in Zoom. That coaching call will happen on Wednesdays at 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. There are women already in this program. I'm so excited to be able to say that. There are women that are making thousands of dollars already in their business. There are women who are starting to make their first couple thousand. It doesn't matter. What matters is your drive, your passion, your enthusiasm, and your desire to make it happen. And I will help you figure out how to do that with mentorship, with teaching, with delicious, deep support. Telegram, Zoom calls, in-person VIP experiences that are included in the price of the program. If you book and join, within the month of June, you also get a personal invitation to be a speaker on a panel at my Women's Empowerment event happening in Ann Arbor, Michigan on September 30th. You also get access to every live program I run while you're in the container. And I am shifting my business to run more and more live programs because I know that is what changes everything. Live attention, support, teaching, and mentorship. Yep. So here we are. And here we go. I'm also opening a handful of spots in my Rebelle Mastermind. This program is awesome, and it is what I wish I had when I was building my business. It has a Facebook group for content marketing, sales posts, figuring out what to say and how to say it, graphics, reviews with my incredible support coach who works with branding and copywriting. And then there's a weekly coaching calls. Those calls are Tuesdays at noon, and you get access to my master classes and training. Both programs also have access to my monthly Rebelle ecstatic dance parties, and the Rebelle is actually the Rich Witch Collective. Everything in my business is going through an up level, but basically there are 3 ways to work with me. Join the Rebelle Mastermind. It's $1,111 a month, and I have an extended payment plan open of $555 a month. That program is 6 months long. Join the Amplify Mastermind, $2,000 a month. There are pay in full discounts for the year, and it is on super sale through the airing of this episode, so through Tuesday, of $1,500 a month, because I'm just launching it into the world as a secret society. And then when I have spots open, I'm available for one-on-one coaching and support at $3,000 a month. Join me, get wildly supported, because your desires matter and you get to have the business that you want. Okay, now to this week's episode. So I got asked this week, why the Rebelle? It's a noun. What's going on there? Like, I get rebel, Emily, like, you know, you have a Star Wars Rebellion tattoo, you're a rebel geek, I get it. Why Rebelle? So the word rebel is feminine rebel. And the reason I called my business Rebelle is because I used to write for a publication called Rebelle Society. They still exist. You can check out their website online. My writing is still out there. But I loved what they stood for. I loved it. Feminine rebellion. And that's really what I've taken it to mean. So that's why my Facebook group is The Rebelle, because it's not just me, it's you too. It's not just me. I'm not the only rebel. You are a divine feminine creature in a really difficult time on this planet. There are systems of oppression. There are capitalistic forces at play. There are ways and places that have kept us safe and small for fear of being burned at the stake, for fear of being ostracized from our communities as witches, priestesses, holy whores. You get to be a safe rebel. You get to find ways to rebel against the system by putting your work out into the world and supporting others, by making wild, delicious amounts of money, by filling up your bank account, by taking out debt, because women didn't used to be able to do that, y'all. It wasn't that long ago that we couldn't even own property. We couldn't even own property. And so for me, it's an act of rebellion to have owned 4 houses. It's an act of rebellion to have this business. In fact, every time I write the word rebellion on Facebook, the post gets crickets. Every time I talk about feminine business, it gets blocked. But luckily, this is audio, and you are choosing to tune into this podcast and stream, so I get to say these things. And I want you to know you're not alone. So, for me, Rebelle, which is also on my license plate, which is the name of my business, Rebelle Incorporated, it means everything. It means everything. You get to do this your way. You get to make a business the world has never seen. You get to have a life full of snuggles with your kids, partners, one partner, multiple partners. You get to dance in the forest at midnight underneath the blue corn moon. You get to howl as the sun sets at Burning Man. You get to be a mom. You get to be a sister. You get to be a divine channel. You get to be a wild woman. And you don't have to compromise You don't have to settle for less. You don't have to make yourself fit into some nice, neat box. Fuck those boxes. Burn them down. Burn and bury the chains. And we're in this together. You are not alone. And this is why I have 2 mastermind programs. Sisterhood makes all the difference in the world. To get to see that other people want the same things that you want. To get to see that they get to do it their unique way and be successful too, changes everything. You're not alone in your desires. You're not the only one who wants freedom. You're not the only one with ADHD or an autoimmune disorder. You're not the only one with tiny children being the primary breadwinner and trying to figure it out and support your partner and support your children and support your community. You are not alone. And in this online world, we get to connect to each other. And then we get to make magic in person. Save the date, September 30th. I am holding a huge Women's Empowerment and Leadership Conference here in Ann Arbor, Michigan. I want you to come. I want you to be lit up and divinely supported. I want you to know that you are not alone and you don't have to struggle through it. You get to be supported. And this has been the hardest lesson for me as an independent woman, as a Sigma wolf, as a lioness. I get to receive support from my partner, from my community, from my friends, from my family, from the universe, from the goddesses I pray to, from my ancestors, blood and otherwise, from the earth and the moss and the shagbark hickory tree outside of my window that I'm staring at as I'm speaking with you now. You get to be supported too. You are not in this alone. You were never meant to do this alone. But the great big church that distanced us from the land, from each other, from our community, from our play and our pleasure. Colonialism that did the same. The Industrial Revolution and capitalism did the same, only pushing us further away and making us more individuals so that we had to rely on being a consumer to survive, because that meant profit. You get to rebel against the system. Joy, pleasure, community is your birthright, and nothing and no one gets to keep you from it. Apparently, I'm preaching today. I want you to know that the universe wants what you want. You have this desire for a reason. You get to have everything you want, but it won't look like anything you've ever seen. Stop trying to look for proof that you get to have it. You won't find it. You are the proof. I am the proof. Your desire gets to be proof enough. And then you have to have faith. Have faith as practice. Faith in action. Faith in singing to the moon, singing to the dawn, singing and dancing with each other. Faith in putting your work out there and supporting your clients in wild and messy and beautiful ways. Faith as you charge money for it and make it better and better and better. You get to do this and you get to have it. So that's part 1. Why the rebel? Here we go. Part 2. How do I do this, having an autoimmune disorder? I want you to craft your business around yourself first. That's how. It starts with you. What do you need? What lights you up? So maybe that's, 2 hours a day of in-person work. Maybe it's 3 hours a day on phone calls, and you don't do Zoom calls because it messes with your brain or you don't like the video on a screen. Maybe you only offer walkie-talkie voice memo support on Voxer or WhatsApp or Telegram or Signal. Maybe you only create evergreen courses that people can download and do in their own time and then sell the fuck out of them. Maybe you do retreats every quarter and you want 100 women in them. Maybe you create wild, deep, shamanic, and energy healing experiences twice a year. And otherwise people can download a few things here and there, but the bulk of your money and income comes from these 2 big in-person events, and that's it. You can have whatever you want, and it starts with you. So for me, I have EDS, Ehlers-Danlos syndrome. What that means is, for me personally, my joints and ligaments get extra stretchy. There's like 7 to 11 different types of EDS. There are so many autoimmune disorders, and there's so many of us that are amazing and cool and beautiful humans that have mental disorders, physical disorders, because the systems do not work. They do not work. The systems of food, the Monsanto in our food, the agricultural practices, the large-scale farming practices, they do not work for our bodies and our systems. This societal structure doesn't work, and so imbalances get created in our bodies and in our genomes and in our chemical structures. It's not a failing on you. You did nothing wrong. You did not deserve this. Yet here we are. So how do you build a business? And how do you make it work with your body, with your brain? It gets crafted uniquely. Maybe you focus in 5-minute bites. Maybe you focus in hour-long increments. Maybe you work in the morning and you take off in the afternoons. Maybe you work from 10 p.m. to 2 a.m. and that's your jam. Check out chronotypes on Google. There's a lot of cool research around different body types working best at different times of the day. When you build your own business, it gets to work for you first. My business really kicked off at the beginning of the pandemic. And that meant I had my toddler home with me. He was 2. Cedar was 2 at the time. And my husband was working full-time in his own business so that we could make ends meet and pay our bills. And my business was just starting to boom. And so I started doing phone calls. And I have a photo of me that was taken by a friend that I'm pushing Cedar in like a little Fisher-Price car. I'm pushing him with one hand. And in the other, I have my cell phone and my earbuds in, and I'm talking to a client. I started out by charging $25 for phone calls. That was it, $25, 60-minute phone call. I will do what I can to help you figure out how to quit your day job and start your business. And then I started charging $187 a month for one-on-one business coaching. I now charge $3,000 a month for one-on-one business coaching. Thank you, Dana. And thank you, Rachel, for helping me to get started. This gets to work for you. And so that when you have a pain flare-up, when you have an IBS flare, when you have a day of brain fog, when you have a debilitating migraine that makes you lay down in the darkness for hours, your business still gets to work. And that's why I don't want you to attach it to striving or hustling or putting out so much content that you burn out. No. But you stay consistent in your messaging, consistent in your sales, consistent in building intimacy, support, and connection so that people can choose to hire you at all different times. You get to build this and you get to build it your way, and I'm here to help you figure out the how. I've talked you through the what and the why. The how happens with support. I have been in business mentorship for the last 3 years. I started with a year of one-on-one business coaching and went from mastermind to mastermind because I love sisterhood support. I love seeing what's possible and what other people have crafted and borrowing their faith as my proof that I get to have my unique version of what I want too. And so do you. If you've been dreaming, if you've been listening, if you've been watching and waiting and taking in all of my content and thinking, I'm going to work with her someday, today is that day. Send me a message on Facebook or Instagram. Let's talk in voice memos and see which mastermind is the right fit for you right now. This is the year that you get to have everything you want. This is your time. This is your one wild and precious life. You get many lives, but there are never another life. There is never another one like this one. So let's do what you want to do and be who you want to be. That's it for today. Share this episode with other Rebelle healers so they too can make more money, help more people, and fall wildly in love with their life. Join my free Facebook group at The Rebelle. Leave us a review and subscribe for next week's episode. XOXO.